Hello, everybody. Wait, whoops. It's not very bright, is it? Hopefully that helps. Things aren't working when I put them there. There we go. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my morning craft. Just like I said, we're going to do Rudolph. No, Rudolph's going to be done in a different... We're going to do some painting, and we're going to be using some batting. And I'm just kind of grabbing some that I had on the side here. And I'm going to just kind of see about how much I'm going to need. Now this is a painting upon a painting upon a painting type of thing. There's always a few strands. All right. So, how is everybody? Well, welcome, Trisha Ann, to my morning craft. Now, I think this will go fairly fast, but we're going to respect our time too. So, I have this dear Rudolph. He was for 74 cents, normally $2.99. He was broken, poor Rudolph. He broke his antler off, and this one came off with it. And but they kept it and put it in the clearance spot, and they saved it just for me, right? Because I found it. Oh goodness, I wanted that all to peel off. Well, it's only the back, so we're not going to worry about it. All that crazy stuff. So I'm going to do the antlers first. We're basically going to cover them completely, but we're going to do his antlers first. So we're going to need probably the wider end. We're going to make those nice and bright. Or as bright as my batting will be. This will be enough for this face and ears. So we'll just set that over there. And I'm simply just going to glue this on. We'll do one at a time. And I'm just getting the glue on. The basic glue. On the edges, I'll be using a little Mod Podge because it's just sometimes easier. I'm trying to do it fast here, so hang on. And just simply lay it on like so. Now let's trim it off. Didn't lay it on as straight as I wanted, but hey, that's what happens. Now don't worry, we're going to be stretching it just a little bit to make it go where we want it. I was trying to think of what I could do this morning that we haven't already done. And I thought, oh, I could do a bulb lighted tree. Well, we already did a bulb tree. We did several. Then I thought, oh, I could maybe do another, because I have that Santa snowman. I thought, oh, that would be cool. Make the mate to my hexagon snow lady, right? And then I thought, nah, I'm not in the mood for a snowman. And then I went through Santa's Vault book that I have, and I saw a beautiful Christmas light tree And I thought, oh, we haven't done the Christmas light tree. And I thought, oh no, that's going to take more time than what I have. So we ended up doing Rudolph, which just happened to fall off my little shelf like he jumped out at me. So he must wanted to get done. I'm just cutting this around. Nothing very fancy and nothing very even. I'm not worried about evenness. Round this off a little bit. And I'll save that. That goes in a pillow or another spot. So it looks like so. Now let's do the other one. I'm going to kind of stretch it a little bit because I want it white, but I don't want it like white. Keeping it cool. So how's Trisha Ann doing this morning? You got your coffee on and everything ready to go for the day? Again, I'm just putting down the heaviness of my glues, and then I'll come back with some Mod Podge. Making sure that stays fairly moist. My hot glue is not very hot yet. Fuzzy side out. And again, we're going to just trim this around just like that one. As well. Kind of a fun little craft today. Oops. That side didn't stick. Well. It has to stick. It's going to get in trouble already. That's good, I'm glad. Hot glue there. Keep all my little piles together. These are basically going to stay white. And I'm going to Mod Podge over them. And this one little area is kind of thin, but that's okay. Antlers are kind of brown and white. See, now that side didn't stick either. Stick. Stay. Pretty good. I'm going to sneeze. I don't know why. I only touched my Mod Podge for 2 seconds. Just to make sure I had it. Right here. And now I'm going to sneeze because I touched it. Terrible. Using my dollar scissors because that's, now see that's a little fluffy, but we're gonna flatten that down in just a little bit. Okay, so those antlers are looking good. And let's grab a brush for some Mod Podging. Just gonna Mod Podge the rest down. Anything that's kind of like the edges. It will dry clear once it's dry. You don't put globs on like I just did, and it won't show as much. And I just basically do this on the antlers, so that's just huge. You gotta cut that off. That's better. This side didn't even stick. Sometimes when wood gets damaged, and the stickiness is, you know, it gets put in dirt and everything, it just doesn't always hold very well. There we go. And a little bit over on this side. And hot glue, you know, you can't spread hot glue very well, so I end up doing it like this. That's why I do it like this. Hot glue doesn't go where I always want it to go. And we're going to save that brush because we're going to need it again. Super cute. Let's do that bottom. Needed it quicker than I thought. Okay, so now we have our adorable ears. Look at that. Super cute. Alright, now we're going to do one layer. And what I mean by that is we're going to split this. Take off the little fuzzies. And you can split this almost like a napkin. You just have to be super careful. Batting is just layered cotton, basically. And we're thinning out the reindeer. This is going to turn brown. We're going to use a little dauber brush and paint it brown. Once we have it on the reindeer, I'm just slowly going to separate this. Now some people just use it full blast color, but I kind of like the natural wood to show through with a little help of some paint. And I just keep going around till I get right down to the middle, and that's where I separate it. Just keep going around, pulling it apart like a napkin. Easier than a napkin. See, I'm right to the middle now. Because I only want a thin layer. Let's see. This is looking good. Just doing a thin layer just to give it a reindeer fur look. Alright, that's going to work. Now I'm just going to Mod Podge it on. And then I'll go around the edges with, make sure I get in between the ears. Hope everyone can see. Let me tip it down a little bit, sorry. You don't need to see me. I'm right here. You can hear me. Making sure that gets into the cardboard wood, whatever this kind of wood might be. Cheap wood. I can cut it. Now we're not doing the nose, just doing this outside first. Just like so. And I don't know if you can see it, but it separates kind of like pour paint. When you do a pour paint, kind of separates it, the glue. It's really weird. This kind of wood does that. Super cool. Set that aside. We'll be using more of that. And now we're going to put this down, and I'm doing fuzzy side in. Stretching it out. And guess what? Now we're going to cut it again. Don't worry about the little fuzzies. You want it kind of fuzzy. This is much thinner so we can easily trim it. Don't cut my mat. I'm hoping I can get him done before I have to go to work. So I'm half ready for work and half ready for, I'd rather craft. I have a hard day today, guys. I'll be on again tonight, but it's going to be late. Probably around 9 or 10. So week's been so off. Now I'm going to just trim around my ears here, making sure I leave enough for it to look like an ear. And I'm going around this antler side. I just need a little bit in that antler. That piece can come off. Cut. Get back down there where I laid you. Super cute so far. See how thin it is? You can kind of see the wood. That's what you want. But not over. We already cut that centerpiece off, so we can just trim it right underneath the antler. So now you can see the top is a double, so you get a nice white, and down here is a softer white. Now you're going to want to take a piece of paper, or whatever you want to use, and I'm going to mix some brown on there. Not going to need a lot. Like this is going to be for the whole, my whole little guy. And then I'm going to add a little bit of chalk paint. And we're going to lighten up the brown. I'm not going to, I'm going to put it side by side. Come coming out. Where's my acrylic? That's like empty dry. This one. I have my acrylic paint. I've had it here all week, kicking it around, and now it's gone. There we go. Don't have much of this left either. We're just going to use a little bit. This is apple barrel. My paints didn't come in on my order this week. I wonder when they're coming. Oh, come on. Sorry. I don't want to come out. And that's about all I'm going to need to. And now I'm going to mix the two together and get more of a tan. We're keeping a little bit of the brown. You can always add brown. We're trying to make a brown tan, not a tan, but a brown tan. And as you know, paint dries a different color, so if you make it dark, it will become the color you want. Okay. Then I'm going to take a pamper brush. Sit down there. I'll just set that there. And I'm just going to kind of pounce it. I don't want that to happen. I'll stop it. My paper, I usually use a big piece of paper, but I don't have any big paper here. I'm just going to make it work. And we're going to go underneath here. We're basically pouncing the paint onto here. Just giving it color on our deer. It's a pretty fast craft, I think. I'll be adding eyes and things on, but not till later because you got to have your glue dry. And your paint dry. Leaving the ears because we're going to add some ears to that. Oh, we didn't cut around the nose. Whoops. Well, that's something nice. Just changing up the color of the our deer. Now the wood is still going to show through. That's going to help some of the lightness of it. And leaving the nose for just to stay white like it is. I bet you guys never thought of painting felt, huh? Batting. Not felt. Batting. Felt's different. Felt is harder to work with. Doesn't absorb so quickly. Just like so. Pretty simple. I'm going to go right down here below his little nose. Make sure I get my edges. Super cute, super fun. Get up there. We'll re-glue that down with some hot glue. Okay, now let me show you. Between the hot glue and my Mod Podge, I'll be, in my paint, I'll be sneezing up a storm today. So it looks like so. Kind of cute. Now it'll dry darker like it always does. Now we're going to get those ears to have a little more fluff, so this extra little bit that you peeled, you're going to cut off a slice. And I cut it off like in a leaf shape. And I use the corners because it makes like the best shapes for eyes. Or not eyes, sorry. We're working on the ears. Excuse me. Alright. I'm going to do kind of the same thing for the eyes, but we're going to do a different shape. And that's going to get glued right into here. And I just use a little hot glue. It's going to melt your fabric just a bit. Now I kind of scrunch that together. And I kind of like push it into that ear. You can't do it when you paint it. I mean, you could, but it's harder because you have a tendency to, when you're bobbing your dauber, you will have a tendency to hit that, which you don't want to do. So now you have definition in the ears, right down here and over here. Now we want this to pop out just a bit, so it doesn't look like you stuck it. See that? Now for the eyes, you're going to use this same piece and you're going to cut like around your thumb. Find your scissors. And of course he has two eyes, so you're going to cut two of those. Those are going to go right here, of course. Your thumb is a great marker. Just don't, careful you don't cut your thumb, which can happen. And trim it off, try to make them as even as possible. And on this side, now on the ears, I put the fluffy side out, and on the front of the eyes, and I'm gonna kind of like pull this corner out to be like a little, I don't know, can you see that little flint? Kind of hot glue or something there. Hot glue. I think that could go a little bit shorter. Darn, I had such a good flute. And you just pull it. Just have a little bit of a flue. Cut off anything that pulls out farther than what you need. Just a little. This one had such a good flute too. Wow. Just gives the eye character just a little bit of eye look. Now we're dealing with batting, guys, so it's not going to be a perfect eyeball. I'm not a machinist that can make things perfect. I'm just a human. Okay, pull that out just a bit. Super, super cute. And then you're going to just, of course, glue them on. Fuzzy side inside. Kind of squish it together, pull that flue out. Pull that up a little bit. Super cute. So now you have your two eyes. And then you're going to put your black beads, which I have them in here. They probably went down to the bottom. Well, I did have them in here. This is my junk box, guys. It collects everything that I save. I didn't want to lose them. And I know I didn't use them. That kind of rhyme. Okay, well, let's see. If I put them in a different space. Well, it's missing. So typical. We'll make some more. So I took a ball and I cut it. Kind of find your seam. Should be a seam. And you're going to cut it out, of course. Now I suggest that you trim off your edge if it cuts a little bit crooked. Don't worry if you didn't cut on the seam, it's alright. You're just going to add some eyeballs. And they don't have to be, this one's like a little bit too high. Now my OCD is working in. And if you cut in a circle, that's better. Those are pretty big eyes. I might cut them down a little lower. We don't want bulging eyes, so that's kind of cute. You could use little beads. I'm going to cut it down to about the middle of the half. See, by just cutting in the circle here, like so, it just makes it a little bit smaller. That's better. Same thing on this one. And you'll know right away when you're cutting your little bulb which way the it was spun because it's easier to cut. Get out there. And then of course you're going to glue them on, keeping that little fluke out. It just gives it a little character. Use your magic little hot glue. And don't stick it right to the corner. I don't recommend that. Some people do. I think that makes it look a little cross-sided. So do it on the edge. Just leave a space. I'll show you. Ooh, I got my finger. Of course, you're going to push it down. We're going to let that sit. Now, Rudolph should have a nice nose, but I only, again, use half a nose. And this has a nice line that you can see. So I'm going to just kind of like split it on that line. It's not spun on that line. On that side. And then you're going to go back and just trim off your edge just a bit to make it a little smoother to lay down on. There we go. Nice good red nose. And that's going to go right here. I might cut that down just a little bit more because I want some of this white to show around it. Oh. Hold on. I lost his nose. Your nose went flying, Rudolph. That's looking better. Just a little bit of this white showing. You could add another white spot around it, but we want a little bit of the white showing. Yeah, that looks better. And again, you're gonna glue it on. Now my Rudolph's gonna have blue eyes, guys, because that's the bulb I had on the table. Still very wet. And there you have a really cute Rudolph. Let me put the camera up. Now, later on, once he's all dry, look how cute he looks. Isn't he cute? I'm going to put the little ornaments on the top, but not until he's completely dry because I just don't want to take the paint off. Now you can make them darker if you want, but this is usually the color I go with. It's a tan. You can see the white pretty nicely. It does go darker, like I said. Super cute, super fun. Alright guys, I have to go to work. I have to stop playing in my craft room. And I will see you all tonight. Maybe we can finish up with the ears. And it'll be all nice and dry. Hopefully. If not, we might wait a day. We'll see. It's all up to the reindeer. Mr. Rudolph. Super cute. Now, you know, adding ornaments, you can just use regular hooks and make them long, short. Just add them kind of like the reindeer we did with Chocolate. But super cute. Super fun. He's going to sit right here and dry. My brushes are going to go into the water here for they're ready for us tonight. Take my paint pad. Drop that off. Oh, a couple of them, I guess. There we go. But super fun. I'm glad you could make it. And we'll see you all tonight. And have a blessed day. Stay warm if you're in the cold. Stay cool if you're in the hot. I was watching someone early this morning that was in 85-degree weather, and she was complaining. We're sitting at, well, when I got up this morning was 3 below. I think now it's up to like 20. Went up fast. That usually means snow is coming. Have a blessed day. See you all later.